Jackie Chan. Be right back!
In 1949, the Chinese Civil War concluded with a communist victory, forcing Kuomintang leaders to flee to Taiwan. Caught in the middle of the chaos was Fang Daolong, a former secret agent for the Kuomintang. Fearing execution or arrest by the new communist government due to his past as a spy, Fang fled to British Hong Kong. To conceal his identity and survive, he adopted the surname Chan. This transition, changing his name and his home, was a desperate act of survival, but it ultimately shaped the destiny of his son. On April 7, 1954, his son, Chan Kong-sang, was born. By 1960, realizing his son was not suited for traditional schooling, the elder Chan enrolled him in the China Drama Academy, a Peking opera school run by Master Yuen. Shortly thereafter, his father emigrated to Australia to work as a head cook, leaving his son behind under a strict 10-year apprenticeship. For the next decade, young Chan trained rigorously, excelling in martial arts and acrobatics. He eventually became a standout member of the Seven Little Fortunes, taking the stage name Yuen Lao in homage to his master. During these grueling years, he formed a lifelong bond with fellow members Sammo Hung and Yuen Biao. I will produce a separate video regarding the Seven Little Fortunes later. The interplay between these performers created a shared choreographic vocabulary that would later revolutionize action cinema. Peking opera training provided Chan with a unique spatial awareness and the ability to use his environment as a dynamic participant in combat. Chan's first screen appearance occurred at the age of 8 in Big and Little Wong Tin Bar, 1962. This film marked the debut for both Chan and Sammo Hung and was followed by a series of roles as a child extra in traditional wuxia and huangmei opera films. These early experiences provided him with a fundamental understanding of the industrial mechanisms of film production. And in 1971, following his graduation from the China Drama Academy, Chan transitioned into professional stunt work. This coincided with the dawn of the Golden Harvest era. He worked on the studio's earliest productions, including The Blade, Spares None, and The Angry River. During this time, he also served as a stunt performer in another King Hu masterpiece, A Touch of Zen. By 1972, Chan was working as a stuntman on Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury. He served as the stunt double for the antagonist, Mr. Suzuki, notably performing a record-breaking high fall after being kicked by Lee's character. Bruce Lee famously praised him for this stunt. Around this time, he also appeared in Angela Mao's Hapkido. To prepare for the film, Chan, Sammo Hung, and Angela Mao all studied Hapkido together. Much of Chan's early work during this period can be attributed to the guidance and support of Sammo Hung. He continued working with major studios, appearing in the Shaw Brothers' The Black Tavern, as well as independent films like The Brutal Boxer and The Bloody Fists. The Bloody Fists marked the directorial debut of Aung Yuen, who would later borrow Chan from director Lo Wei to turn him into a global superstar. That same year, he had an extra role in Stranger from Hong Kong. In 1973, Jackie worked as a stuntman on Enter the Dragon, famously appearing as a henchman killed by Bruce Lee. Following this, he remained prolific, appearing as an extra in several films throughout 1973. He appeared as an extra in Facets of Love, Not Scared to Die, Policewoman, Kung Fu Girl, Chinese Hercules, Ambush, Awaken Punch, and Fist of Unicorn. Fist of Unicorn was the only film Bruce Lee ever choreographed that he did not also star in. He did it as a personal favor to his childhood best friend, Unicorn Chan. It was during this time that he was cast in his very first leading role, originally titled The Little Tiger of Canton. However, the production ran out of money and was never finished or properly released, sitting in a vault for years. Following Jackie's later success, the studio would eventually use a stunt double to film new scenes and release it in 1979 as Master with Cracked Fingers to capitalize on his fame. In 1974, he appeared as extra and minor roles in Fist to Fist, The Golden Lotus, Supermen Against the Orient, and Village of Tigers. His most prominent role during this period was as a pear seller in the Shaw Brothers' The Golden Lotus. During these times, Bruce Lee passed away, and the market for kung fu films began to fade. Despite a significant milestone in 1974, serving as the action director for John Woo's directorial debut, The Young Dragons, Jackie struggled to find steady work. He eventually made the drastic decision to leave Hong Kong and move to Australia to join his parents. When he returned to Hong Kong, Sammo Hung helped him land a role in John Woo's The Hand of Death. While the film didn't make him a star, it remains a landmark as the first movie to feature all three dragons together on screen as adults. John Woo's The Hand of Death was actually filmed in 1975 before Jackie went to Australia the second time. However, the film was actually released just 1 week after New Fist of Fury. In 1975, he also appeared as extra in All in the Family, Flatfoot in Hong Kong, No End of Surprises, The Himalayan, and The Golden Lion. However, with the industry still in a slump, Jackie returned to Australia once more. While working on Australian construction sites, he earned the nickname Jackie, a name that would eventually eclipse his original stage persona. It was during this second stay that Willie Chan, the general manager of Lo Wei's company, reached out to him with the promise of making him a star, prompting his final return to Hong Kong. Following the sudden death of Bruce Lee in 1973, the Hong Kong film industry was left in a commercial vacuum. Producers were desperate to find the next Bruce Lee. Director Lo Wei, who had directed Bruce Lee's first two massive hits, believed he could manufacture a successor. He recruited Chan and bestowed upon him the stage name Chung Long, which literally means becoming the dragon. This was a blatant, calculated attempt to brand the young actor as the direct heir to Bruce Lee's legacy. In 1976, Lo Wei cast him in New Fist of Fury, a direct sequel to the Bruce Lee classic. He even brought back Nora Miao to co-star, using her as a visual bridge to Bruce Lee in hopes of tricking the audience into accepting this new heir. But the film was a failure. Jackie was forced to mimic Lee's stoic, intense persona, a style that completely clashed with his natural charm and rhythmic athleticism. Because his films failed to connect with audiences, the industry cruelly labeled him box office poison. Under contract with Lo Wei, Jackie felt suffocated. Lo Wei treated him like a prize horse. He controlled every move and refusing to let him experiment with his own ideas. In 1976, Jackie appeared in Killer Meteors and Shaolin Wooden Men. In Killer Meteors, he co-starred with the legendary Jimmy Wang Yu. Shaolin Wooden Men was a traditional martial arts film produced by Lo Wei. He played the lead in To Kill with intrigue, but took minor roles in films like The Face Behind the Mask. In his biography, Jackie notes that Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin, Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, Spiritual Kung Fu, and Dragon Fist were actually produced shortly after Killer Meteors. However, most film databases list their release dates as being after Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. This discrepancy exists because Lo Wei originally shelved these projects. He only released them later to capitalize on Jackie's superstardom. Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin was a standout from his early period. While Jackie is excellent, the film is often remembered for the presence of Nora Miao. Her performance and striking beauty made this one of the most aesthetically pleasing films of his early career. Half a Loaf of Kung Fu and Spiritual Kung Fu were Jackie's personal attempts to rebel against Lo Wei's rigid direction. He tried to inject his own sense of humor into the traditional formulas. While they showed glimpses of his genius, they couldn't reach the heights of his two seasonal hits. And then he starred in Dragon Fist, which marked his third and final film with the legendary Nora Miao. He also appeared in Lo Wei's magnificent Bodyguards. While his own starring roles were struggling, Jackie was secretly witnessing the future. He worked as a stuntman in The Private Eyes, 1976, a Hui brothers comedy choreographed by Sammo Hung. This film was the spark that ignited the kung fu comedy genre. By being on that set, Jackie was present at the very birth of the style that would eventually make him the most famous actor in the world. Though these films were commercially lackluster, the period was vital for Jackie's technical evolution. He began demanding more responsibility behind the scenes, asserting himself as more than just a performer. In The 36 Crazy Fists, 1977, he stepped up as the stunt coordinator and served as the action director for significant portions of the film. During these times, he worked as action director in Dance of Death and The Immortal Warriors and took a minor role in Fists and Guts. Up until this moment, Jackie's filmography was a collection of Bruceploitation clones and rigid, traditional studio films that felt nothing like his actual personality. He was a performer without a voice, trapped in a style that didn't belong to him. That changed in 1978 when producer Aung Yuen made the tactical decision to borrow Jackie from Lo Wei's studio for a two-picture deal. These two films, directed by Yuen Woo-ping, would define the Jackie Chan style forever. It is important to note that this revolution wasn't a solo effort. It was the perfect alignment of Sammo Hung's comedic influence, Yuen Woo-ping's choreography, and Aung Yuen's vision. This shift wasn't just about adding jokes, it was a fundamental technical innovation in action cinema. By introducing physical humor, the choreography became multi-layered. Fights were no longer just about who was stronger, they became about rhythm, the use of random props, and the loser's struggle to survive. The massive success of Snake in The Eagle's Shadow and Drunken Master proved to the world that audiences were exhausted by the invincible hero and were ready for a fallible, funny, and human action star. Recognizing Jackie's growing potential, Lo Wei finally gave him the opportunity to make his official directorial debut with The Fearless Hyena. Jackie both starred in and directed the film, and the result was a fascinating transition of style. While he was clearly utilizing the successful Yuen Woo-ping formula C, he began adding his own signature rhythmic pacing and more intricate choreography. And then he starred in Fearless Hyena Part 2. During filming this, the real drama was unfolding behind the scenes. When Willie Chan left Lo Wei's company, he advised Jackie that it was time to decide his own future. The breaking point arrived during the filming of Fearless Hyena Part 2. Jackie made the bold decision to break his contract and jump to the rival studio, Golden Harvest. A furious Lo Wei did not let his star go easily. He allegedly used Triad connections to blackmail and intimidate Jackie, laying the blame for the departure squarely on Willie Chan. The situation became dangerous and reached a stalemate that only a heavyweight could break. The dispute was finally resolved through the intervention of Jimmy Wang Yu. Using his deep influence and standing within the industry and the underworld, Wang Yu negotiated Jackie's freedom, effectively securing his future at Golden Harvest and paving the way for his global superstardom. After joining Golden Harvest, Raymond Chow advised Jackie to change the spelling of his name from Jackie to Jackie. Here, Chan finally became a true auteur, serving as director, screenwriter, action choreographer, and leading man. In 1980, his first studio effort, the young master shattered local box office records and signaled his emergence as the premier action star of Asia. The original version of the film that Chan handed over to Golden Harvest was reportedly 3 hours in length. The theme song played over the closing credits. Kung Fu Fighting Man was the first song recorded and performed by Jackie Chan. He has since gone on to release many records and has performed the theme songs on many of his films. Soon after, he made his Hollywood debut in The Big Brawl. In 1981, he appeared in the American hit The Cannonball Run. In a move that frustrated him, he was cast as a Japanese driver alongside Richard Kiel. Jackie was miserable in Hollywood. The directors refused to let him choreograph his own fights, stifling the rhythm that made him famous. During his time in America, Jackie met the legendary Teresa Teng. A romance blossomed between them. I will talk about them in upcoming 3-minute series video. Subscribe to Bird with No Legs to watch more deep dives into cinema. In 1982, he directed Dragon Lord, continuing to refine his style. By early 1983, he appeared in Fantasy Mission Force. This was a personal favor to Jimmy Wang Yu, who had used his underworld influence to save Jackie from Lo Wei's Triad-linked contract disputes. That same year, Lo Wei released in Fearless Hyena Part 2, patchwork film made of old footage and doubles. It was the final, fading breath of Jackie's traditional era. A central pillar of Chan's success during the 1980s was the formalization of the Jackie Chan stunt team, or Sing Ga Ba. The 1980s were defined by the collaboration between Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen, known famously as the Three Dragons. 1983 marked a major turning point in Jackie's career when he appeared in Sammo Hung's Winners and Sinners. This was the second collaboration of the Three Dragons and the first entry in the Lucky Stars series. Starring alongside Cherie Chung, this was Jackie's first true modern kung fu film, proving he could adapt his martial arts style to an urban setting. This followed Fantasy Mission Force as his second major departure from traditional period films. The real breakthrough, however, came with Project A. It was the Three Dragons' first major starring collaboration where all three have lead roles. While the stunt work in this film bears a striking resemblance to silent film legends like Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd, Jackie famously claimed he hadn't actually seen their work at the time. He only became aware of Keaton later, after Western. Critics began drawing comparisons. However, I want to add my own perspective here. Even if Jackie hadn't watched Buster Keaton directly, he was undeniably influenced by peers like Sammo Hung and Michael Hui. Michael Hui was a university-educated filmmaker who studied global cinema, and it's very likely that Jackie absorbed these silent film techniques through them, evolving those ideas into his own legendary style. In 1984, Jackie released another Three Dragons film and their most successful collaboration, Wheels on Meals. Shot in Barcelona, Spain, it starred Spanish actress Lola Fauna. The final battle between Jackie Chan and Benio Quaidez is still considered one of the greatest fight scenes of all time. Around this time, Jackie also made cameo appearances in Pom Pom and Cannonball Run 2. In 1985, Jackie starred in Sammo Hung's second Lucky Stars film, My Lucky Stars. It became a massive hit and was the first movie to pass the HK $30 million mark in Hong Kong. That same year, he also appeared in the third film, Twinkle, Twinkle, Lucky Stars. Soon, he teamed up with Sammo again for Heart of Dragon. In my opinion, Heart of Dragon is Jackie's most heartbreaking film of all time. Jackie's influence grew across Europe and Japan, where he became a major icon, but the North American market remained difficult to break. In 1985, he had another miserable experience in America with The Protector. The director, James Glickenhaus, did not understand Jackie's rhythmic action style. Frustrated by the American way of filming, Jackie returned to Hong Kong and directed Police Story as his answer. Starring alongside Brigitte Lin and Maggie Chung, the film became another landmark in his career. Police Story eventually won Best Picture and Best Action Choreography at the Hong Kong Film Awards. After a cameo in Naughty Boys, Jackie directed and starred in Armor of God. He reunited with Lola Fauna from Wheels on Meals and starred alongside Rosamund Kwan. While filming Armor of God in Yugoslavia, Jackie suffered the most catastrophic injury of his career. During a simple jump from a wall to a tree branch, the branch snapped. Jackie fell and hit his head on a rock, driving a piece of bone into his brain. This injury left him with a permanent hole in his skull and partial hearing loss. These accidents weren't just bad luck. They were the result of Jackie's constant pursuit of perfection and his refusal to stop until he got the perfect take. In 1987, Jackie directed and starred in the sequel, Project A Part 2. While Jackie brought back Maggie, Chung and Rosamund Kwan from his previous hits like Police Story and Armor of God, Sammo Hung and Yuen were both absent. That same year, Jackie produced Cho Yuen's That Enchanting Night. This film marked Cho Yuen's departure from his famous wuxia swordsman films and a return to the light-hearted romantic style of his early career. By 1988, Jackie directed and starred in Police Story 2, which featured a return appearance by Cho Yuen as the villain. The film won Best Action Choreography at the Hong Kong Film Awards. That same year, the Three Dragons era ended with Dragons Forever. This film showcased their incredible ability to blend different fighting styles into a seamless masterpiece. The film also features a legendary rematch between Jackie Chan and Benny the Jet Urquidez. However, it was the final time Sammo, Jackie and Yuen appeared together, as Jackie subsequently moved on to focus on his solo career. While Jackie publicly claimed they split to avoid audience fatigue, the truth was more complex. Their creative philosophies were moving in different directions, and each wanted to lead his own franchise. Jackie moved toward a solo-centric global superstar model, while Sammo Hung focused on action direction and mentoring new talent through his Sammo Hung stunt team, or Hung Gar Ban. The producer by the mid-1980s, Jackie was no longer just an actor, he was an industry mogul. He founded his own production company, Lo Wei Films, to develop projects for himself and other stars. In 1988, he produced the action comedy The Inspector Wears Skirts, 1988, and the legendary drama Rouge, 1988, which starred Leslie Cheung and Anita Mui. This can be seen as a collaboration between the three pillars of the Hong Kong Golden Age. In 1989, Jackie and Anita Mui teamed up again to star in Miracles, a film Jackie often cites as his personal directorial favorite. That same year, he also produced the sequel, The Inspector Wears Skirts 2. By 1990, his production rate increased as he produced films like Stage Door, Johnny, and Story of Kennedy Town. In 1991, he produced Angry Ranger. While Jackie had produced films in his earlier years, his output as a producer became much more frequent after the Three Dragons era. In 1992, he produced The Shootout, starring Aaron Kwok. However, from that point until roughly 2005, his rate of producing films for others declined significantly. One notable exception during this period was the 1998 film Hot War. It is important to note that this specific list focuses only on movies in which Jackie served as a producer but did not appear as an actor. During the 1980s and early 90s, the Hong Kong film industry was heavily controlled by Triad syndicates. Gangsters used film sets for money laundering and forced stars to appear in movies under the threat of violence. Directors and actors who refused faced armed threats and death. Jackie recounted being shot at while exiting airplanes and being surrounded in restaurants by men with melon knives. In one famous incident, Jackie claimed he faced down 24 gangsters in a warehouse while armed with guns and a grenade, telling them, "We all go up together or nobody goes up." While Jackie was seen as a real-life hero for fighting back, most disputes were settled through negotiation. The legendary Jimmy Wang Yu, who had deep ties to the underworld, was the key negotiator for Jackie. Wang Yu famously saved Jackie from a dangerous contract dispute with director Lo Wei, who had used Triad members to blackmail Jackie into staying with his company. To repay this life debt to Wang Yu, Jackie agreed to star in the gritty prison drama Island of Fire, 1990. Although Jackie was the main face on the poster, he only played a supporting role alongside Tony Leung Ka-fai, Andy Lau, and Sammo Hung. The violence peaked in 1992 with the murder of Jim Choi, who was Jet Li's manager and a producer. This tragedy sparked outrage across the industry. In January 1992, Jackie led the historic anti-violence protest. over 300 film industry members marched through the streets of Hong Kong to denounce Triad bullying. This public stand pressured the police to act and led to the 1993 formation of the Hong Kong Performing Artists Guild. This movement effectively broke the Triad's iron grip, marking the most significant moment of unity in Hong Kong history. In 1990, Jackie returned to choreography for the Outlaw Brothers. In 1991, despite the ongoing Triad issues, he found time to support Yuen by taking a cameo in Biao's directorial debut, A Kid from Tibet. That same year, Jackie directed and starred in Armor of God Triad, Operation Condor. Filmed in Spain and Morocco, it was one of the most expensive Hong Kong films ever made. Jackie was famously amazed to be recognized by fans even in remote parts of Africa. He also appeared as himself in the interview segments for the artistic masterpiece Center Stage. In 1992, Jackie reached a new peak with Police Story 3 Super Cop. He and Michelle Yeoh famously competed to see who could perform the most dangerous stunts, a story they still tell today. He also starred in Twin Dragons, his only film where he played double roles. This project was a special production to raise money for the Hong Kong Directors Guild. In 1993, Jackie made a cameo in Michelle Yeoh's spin-off, Super Cop 2. Soon after, he starred in City Hunter, his first and only collaboration with director Wong Jing. While City Hunter was a wild comedy, his next film, Crime Story, was the opposite. Based on the real-life 1990 kidnapping of businessman Teddy Wang, it remains one of Jackie's most serious and gritty dramatic performances. Jackie won the Golden Horse Award for Best Actor 2 years in a row for Police Story 3, Super Cop, and Crime Story. In 1994, Jackie returned to his roots with The Legend of Drunken Master. This was the second time he played the folk hero Wong Fei Hung. The film was directed by the legendary Lau Kar-leung, the man who pioneered the kung fu comedy genre with The Spiritual Boxer. Although Jackie and Lau Kar-leung famously clashed over the fighting style, the film is now considered one of the greatest martial arts movies ever made. In 1995, Jackie achieved his dream of breaking into the American market with Rumble in the Bronx. Directed by Stanley Tong, Stanley Tong's success with Jackie later helped him launch a US television career, directing Sammo Hung in the series Martial Law. When Rumble in the Bronx hit #1 at the US box office in early 1996, Jackie finally achieved true mainstream stardom in the West. That same year, Jackie starred in Thunderbolt, his first collaboration with director Gordon Chan. This happened right after Gordon Chan had finished directing Jet Li's masterpiece, Fist of Legend. Earlier that year, Jackie had already broken his ankle on the set of Rumble in the Bronx, which forced his team to take over many of the stunts in Thunderbolt. In 1996, Jackie teamed up with Stanley Tong again for Police Story 4 First Strike. Filmed in Australia and Russia, this was the final film in the original Police Story timeline. In 1997, Jackie reunited with his big brother Sammo Hung for Mr. Nice Guy. Filmed in Australia, Sammo directed the movie and made a funny cameo as a cyclist. This was a significant moment as it was their first major collaboration since the Three Dragons era ended. As the 1997 handover approached, Jackie had successfully transformed from a local hero into a global brand, ready to conquer Hollywood permanently. Unlike his failed attempts in the 1980s, this time he went as a proven global superstar. By 1998, Jackie was ready for his final farewell to pure Hong Kong cinema with Who Am I? Featuring a legendary slide down a 21-story skyscraper in Rotterdam, it was a high-stakes exit. Later that year, he finally conquered America with Rush Hour. Director Brett Ratner did what others hadn't. He let Jackie be Jackie. Pairing his physical brilliance with Chris Tucker's verbal wit created a $244 million global phenomenon. In 1999, Jackie returned to Hong Kong for Gorgeous, a film designed to prove he could be a romantic lead rather than just an action star. He starred alongside Shu Qi. This year also marked a historic handshake between the two kings of Hong Kong cinema. Jackie and Stephen Chow exchanged legendary cameos in each other's films, Gorgeous and King of Comedy. To further support the industry, Jackie also made a high-tech cameo in Gen X Cops, helping to spotlight the next generation of Hong Kong stars. In 2000, Jackie found another perfect Western partner in Owen Wilson for the Western comedy Shanghai Noon. Jackie noted that he and Owen shared a great collegiate friendship. From 2000 to 2005, he also starred in the hit animated series Jackie Chan Adventures. Running for 5 seasons, the show introduced him to an entirely new generation of Western fans. While his character was voiced by James C., the real Jackie appeared in live-action segments at the end of each episode to answer questions from children. In 2001, Jackie starred in The Accidental Spy, which marked the end of an era as his final production with Golden Harvest. Over the next few years, Jackie balanced massive Hollywood sequels with more experimental projects. He released Rush Hour 2 in 2001, which remains one of his highest-grossing films of all time. It was also his first and only collaboration with Zhang Zi. He followed this with The Tuxedo in 2002. Jackie has openly admitted that the only reason he signed on for the project was for the chance to meet Steven Spielberg, whose studio, DreamWorks, distributed the film. In 2003, he returned to his Western franchise with Shanghai Nights. Jackie later revealed a hilarious casting mistake. He had actually requested Hong Kong pop icon Faye Wong for the female lead, but the casting crew mixed up the names and accidentally hired Singaporean actress Fan Wong instead. Regardless of the mix-up, Fan Wong was absolutely perfect for the role, and her astounding beauty added massive charm to the film. Jackie also starred in The Medallion alongside Claire Forlani, the actress famous for her role in Meet Joe Black. In that same year, Jackie appeared in The Twins Effect. For me, this was his best cameo since his appearance in King of Comedy. He would even return for a cameo in the 2004 sequel, The Twins Effect 2, which famously featured his son, JC Chan, making his on-screen debut as the male lead. In 2004, Jackie starred in Around the World in 80 Days. Unfortunately, the film struggled both critically and commercially. It was nominated for 2 Razzie Awards, including Worst Remake or Sequel and Worst Supporting Actor. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the one nominated for the Supporting Award. The Los Angeles Times eventually listed the production as one of the most expensive box office flops of all time. During these years, the Hong Kong Golden Age began to fade as the industry shifted its focus toward the mainland Chinese market. Jackie adapted to this change by founding JCE Movies Limited in 2004. His first project under this new banner was New Police Story. This film was a major turning point. He played a darker, more emotional version of his classic detective character and introduced a new generation of stars like Nicholas Tse and Daniel Wu. In 2005, Jackie starred in The Myth, alongside Tony Leung Ka-fai and Kim Hee-sun. The film's theme song, Endless Love, was a massive success and featured a duet between Jackie and Kim Hee-sun. That same year, Jackie continued his work behind the scenes by producing the film's Everlasting Regret, starring Tony Leung Ka-fai. In 2006, Jackie co-starred with Louis Koo in Rob B. Hood. This was a deeply emotional film for him and was notable as the first time in over 30 years that Jackie played the role of a thief. The project also featured special appearances by his old brothers Yuen and Michael Hui. In 2007, he returned to Hollywood for Rush Hour 3. Despite the film's commercial reach, Jackie later expressed his personal disappointment with the project, feeling it didn't live up to the standard of the first 2 installments. In 2008, one of the most anticipated films in the history of Hong Kong action cinema was finally released. The Forbidden Kingdom brought Jackie Chan and Jet Li together on screen for the first time, featuring choreography by Yuen Wu-ping and a story inspired by the legend of the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. That same year, Jackie expanded his reach into animation as a voice actor, in the global hit Kung Fu Panda. In 2009, Jackie reunited with Daniel Wu for Shinjuku Incident. This film was a massive departure from his usual style, serving as the darkest and most gritty movie of his entire career. During this year, he also appeared in prominent Chinese productions like Looking for Jackie and the historical epic, The Founding of a Republic. In 2010, Jackie starred in the American action comedy The Spy Next Door. Shortly after, he released Little Big Soldier, a project he wrote and starred in that had been in development for over 20 years. Jackie had dreamed of making this historical comedy since the 1980s, and it is widely considered one of his finest modern works. That same year, Jackie took on a mentorship role in the remake of The Karate Kid, starring alongside Jaden Smith in a production produced by Will Smith. Despite the title, the film actually focuses on the main character learning Kung Fu in China rather than karate. In 2011, Jackie appeared alongside Andy Lau and Nicholas Tsay in Shaolin, though his role was closer to a special cameo. He followed this by returning as a voice actor in Kung Fu Panda 2 and then took the director's chair for the historical epic 1911. This milestone project was promoted globally as his 100th film as an actor. In 2012, Jackie directed and starred in CZ12, also known as Armor of God 3. The film was a technical triumph, winning Best Stunt Action Choreography at the Hong Kong Film Awards. This production also earned Jackie 2 Guinness World Records, one for the most stunts performed by a living actor and another for the most credits in a single movie. In 2013, Jackie made a cameo in the Chinese film Personal Tailor and starred in Police Story 2013. Despite its success in China, many longtime fans consider it the most disappointing entry in the Police Story franchise due to its somber tone. In 2014, he appeared in a brief cameo for the firefighting drama As the Light Goes Out. By 2015, he returned to large-scale action in Dragon Blade, an epic historical film where he starred alongside Hollywood actor Adrian Brody. 2016 was a landmark year for Jackie's legacy as he received an honorary Academy Award for his extraordinary achievements in film. During that same year, he returned for Kung Fu Panda 3 and starred in the action comedy Skip Trace with Fan Bingbing and Johnny Knoxville. He ended the year starring in Railroad Tigers, a project where he appeared alongside his son, JC Chan. In 2017, Jackie starred in Kung Fu Yoga, reuniting with director Stanley Tong. Although it was originally planned as a sequel to The Myth, it became a massive standalone success and stands as Jackie Chan's highest-grossing film in China. That same year, he provided voices for The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature and the Lego Ninjago movie, before starring in the gritty action thriller The Foreigner. He finished the year with the cyberpunk film Bleeding Steel and the drama Namiya, though his performance in Bleeding Steel faced significant criticism. In 2019, Jackie starred in The Night of Shadows, Between Yin and Yang. He played the famous Chinese writer Pu Songling, whose work influenced generations of Chinese ghost films. For me, this was his best and most unique role of the 2010s. Later that year, he appeared in YY2 Journey to China and made a special cameo in The Climbers. In 2020, Jackie starred in the high-stakes action film Vanguard, reuniting once, again with director Stanley Tong. In 2021, he returned to animation as a voice actor in Wish Dragon and made brief cameo appearances in the films Goodnight Beijing and All You Need Is Love. By 2023, Jackie took on a deeply personal project with Ride On, a film inspired by his own legendary life as a stuntman. During that same year, he teamed up with John Cena for the action comedy Hidden Strike and lent his voice to the character of Splinter in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. In 2024, Jackie produced and wrote The Diary and starred in A Legend, the sequel to The Myth. The film used AI technology to de-age Jackie to his 27-year-old self, attempting to bridge the gap between his current age and his prime, though he faced criticism for the quality of the CGI effects on his younger version. Later that year, he starred in Panda Plan, where he plays a fictionalized version of himself. It is a meta-comedy where he pokes fun at his own legacy. In 2025, he returned to his role as Mr. Han in Karate Kid: Legends, which serves as a follow-up to the 2010 film. He also starred in The Shadow's Edge alongside Tony Leung Ka-fai, marking their third film collaboration together. Looking ahead through 2026, Jackie is set to star in Unexpected Family and the sequel Panda Plan: The Magical Tribe. He also has plans for 2 major franchise returns with Rush Hour 4 and Armor of God 4. Throughout his 64-year career, Jackie has remained dedicated to a single craft. From his beginnings at the Peking Opera School to his time as a stuntman, actor, director, and producer, the core of his work has always been the stunt. He spent his entire life perfecting this art, and it is the foundation of his massive global success. Jackie Chan is not a myth. He is a man who never stopped. And even now he is still going.
Achieving it all. Pretty soon, decades passed.